Hi, my name is Mark Carrington. I'm from My Bitcoin Profits. I was asked a question by Stephen Summers. The question you can see there is, who looks at technical charts with relationship to Bitcoin? And I said I would promise to have a look and do something about that. So here we go. This is a off the top, go with the flow view on the Bitcoin market as shown by the charts. So I'll start with the charts. The first thing to do is we want to look at a bear chart for as long a time frame as we can get. So what we have here is we have the Bitcoin against the US dollar. It's a monthly chart, so every one of these bars is 1 month, and it goes back as far as this exchange, which is Bitstamp, has been operating, which is sometime in 2011. So the first thing I want to do with the chart is just have a look and say, what is the trend? Well, we can see from this chart the where we are now is higher than where we started. So there is a trend in an upward direction, although the chart is already telling me quite a bit more. I'm going to draw some arrows in here. So for a long time, price went sideways, and then price rose dramatically, and then price dropped. But importantly is price did not break through this horizontal level here, and I'm going to pick this level here because that's the high that it got to in the last time it ran up, and it consolidated around this level for quite a period of time. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, nearly a whole year. So it's gone sideways, and then it has now broken out of that range and headed upwards. And of course, the next thing I'll notice in the chart is that we've had this big price correction in the last period of time. You'll see the price has opened here, and it's now closed. This is where it closed yesterday, but it has not yet dropped below the level it was here. So that's the first thing I do, is have a look and say, what's the broad direction of the market? So the broad direction, roughly speaking, is it is heading upwards. And in recent time, it has headed upwards, and it is now probably going sideways. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of all of these arrows on this chart, and I'm now going to look at the next time frame, which will be a weekly chart. And I'm basically going to go through exactly the same thing. So I'm going to change that to a weekly chart. And every one of these bars is now a week. And let's position the chart so that it is, I want to run it from that high. So we'll remember we had that big run up. Now what I'm looking for as a trader is I want to look at what the overarching trends are, and there are two trends going on in here. The first one is running from this high here, coming through these touch points here. So we have several touch points here, and the market has been heading downwards and has tried several times to break through that trend line, and it has failed to do that. It has finally reached a bottom and has now broken through that trend line. Now typically what happens when a market breaks through a trend line, it does this. It'll do this, it will then do this, come back to the trend line and do that. In this particular case, it has not done that, because what it has done is it has chosen this. Remember this support line that we drew from the previous chart, which I chose to leave in here. It has chosen to consolidate around this support line. So it goes up, retests, breaks down, goes up and retests. So eventually, we've got a big band here, which is running something like this. And the price has been consolidating in that band, and eventually the market has done exactly what markets tend to do. It has gone up, pulled back to a line, and then broken out. So that's the next thing that I'm looking for. So basically what I have here is I have, through this action here, a confirmation that the market has clearly stopped the downtrend, it has stepped out of the consolidation stage, and it is now in an uptrend. So I'm going to remove these lines. So we're happy with that assumption. I'll remove all of these lines, and I'm now going to draw in what is a trend line here and a parallel channel. I'm going to ignore that high over there. I'm going to do that. And as a trader, what I'm then looking at is to say, how is this market going to behave inside a channel? What it tends to do, it tends to run up to top of channel, pull back, find a level, and then run up there. So it found a level here. What is that level? There's no surprise to me at all as to what that level is if I could find a way of drawing this line in the color that I'd like to draw. Oh, it's drawn the line as a vertical line. No wonder I'm getting confused here. So price has tested a level there. We've got a horizontal level here. That's a weekly there. There's a touch there, and there are a bunch of touches there. And I'm going to change this one to a yellow one because that shows me that it's come off a monthly chart and this is off a weekly chart. So that's the picture, is that we're comfortable that we're in an uptrend. Now the question is, what are we doing? What's going on here? So I'm now going to step onto the daily chart, and we're going to focus on that portion of the chart to see what's happening on that portion of the chart. So you can see here we're in this is a period, so that's gone from the bottom right the way through this period of time, and we can choose to widen this channel to here if we want. Well, my preference is to do it there, but that's fine either or. I prefer to do it here because then we've got more than one touch. But at the moment, that's not the important part of the chart. The important part of the chart is that we are in the middle of this range. Now so what's the chart telling us is that we talk about the cycles of a market. There's a cycle upwards and it pulls back downwards, and then this is a long cycle upwards, pull backwards, go sideways, a long cycle upwards, pull backwards. It tried to recover, failed, pulled back, tried to recover, failed, although this high was higher than that one, so I was expecting it to go that way. And then we're now getting a pullback. Basically we call these phases. So the important phase here is we have a big phase up here and a phase down and a phase up to a level, and we're currently in a phase down. Now we don't really know when this is going to turn, but we do believe that this is an uptrend, because this set of lows here is higher than these lows here. Disappointing part though is that this high here is lower than this high here, so there is a risk that this is the start of a downtrend, but we will not know that until these lows have been taken out. Now from a technical point of view is that can we predict or can we identify where the market is going to turn? And the indicator that I use for doing that is the Fibonacci retracement, and I'm going to run the Fibonacci line from these lows here to the top of those highs, and you'll see it produces a set of numbers, some lines and a set of numbers. And typically the market turns on will often turn on one of these numbers. So as we see here, this 0.382, so from these lows up to this high, the market was testing that 0.382 line. It's a Fibonacci number. It did not test the 0.5. That's actually not a Fibonacci number, but it's a number that traders use, and it is currently moving around the 0.68 number. What we almost always find is that when the market breaks through the 0.786, there is a very good chance it's going to go through one and head down this way. So as a technical trader, this is where I am looking to consider entering this trade. So somewhere in this box here between the 0.5 and the 0.786. What I'd also like to see is, are there any horizontal levels that it'll test? So we've got a line on the chart here that the market is wanting to test, and there is are there any horizontal levels? I prefer drawing the horizontal levels from a weekly chart, so I'm going to step back to the weekly chart, and I'm going to look for where the market reversed on the way up. There were no reversals at the end of a week on here, the market up, other than down here. So where we are here, there are no reversals on the weekly other than possibly this bit of consolidation here. So we're going to be best served by identifying those reversal lines on a daily chart. So I'm going to put in a horizontal line. I'm going to change it to color red because it's come from the daily chart, and I'm going to put it there. Because we've got the prices tested this, it's tested this on the way up, it's gone up, broken through it, tested it again. So this is now becoming a support line, and that line happens to coincide with my box here. So if I was to consider a trade, this is where I would be looking for the market to reverse once it reaches that level. Now the last part of this discussion is to put an indicator on the chart to test momentum. And I think on this particular one, I will do, well, I always use one called MACD. I will put MACD here, and what I'm looking for here is that the important part of MACD is that what we had over here is we had a high, and we have a lower high. MACD is telling me exactly the same thing. That blue line is a high there, and that high is a lower high there, so it is totally consistent. On the way up, this low here, over here, has now been taken out by this low here. So that is indicating a level of divergence. The market was going up there, and the indicator is going down, if I've got the right one, is going down this one. This is the one here. It's this one here, that low. So we've got divergence. This has been going up, and this one is going down. A little bit uncomfortable about that because that's over a reasonably long period of time. So the market is giving indications, but only with this last price action, that it is uncomfortable. So is that a strong indicator for me? Not really. That's not going to tell me to go short. What is going to make me nervous, though, is this blue signal line on MACD has crossed below zero, which is suggesting to me that this is the start of a downtrend. So as a trader, I want to look for strong signs of a reversal before I'll consider entering a trade here. And that strong sign of a reversal will be when the price action takes out the previous highs on the bars, as we'll see here. Let's see, we go back here. Here's a strong sign of a reversal. I've got a bar. Let's blow that up a bit so you can actually see what's going on. We've got a small bar. The low was taken out, so the price went down like this. It opened and went up and closed above there. That's called an engulfing bar. That is a strong sign of reversal. The other signs of reversal is this bar here, is where we have where we have this one here, where we see the price has opened up here, it's gone down, it's tested this level, and this happens to be the daily level that we identified from these bars here, and it has closed close to where it opened, and it creates this long tail. That is a strong sign of reversal, and then we'll see the next high is that higher high, and we have got a reversal. So that's what we'll be looking for here. It's going to be challenging with this long bar, so we'll have to wait a few days, and I suspect we'll see consolidation here, but until such time as I get a sign of reversal, I will not be looking at a long trade. Currently not looking for short trades because we are still in uptrend. I hope that helps as a set of technical indicators. There is another way of looking at indicators using Bollinger Bands, but I will save that for another video. Thanks.